Hello, everyone, and welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. I'm Agni James, and today I will be doing a guided meditation. That's what we do here. We meditate, we talk philosophy, we talk all sorts of stuff. Hey, Christine the Bean, so good to see you, and thank you so much for the subscription. Much appreciated. 6 months in a row. That's pretty awesome. Wow, congrats! You're one of my longtime subscribers. That's pretty cool. Yeah, 6 months. I've been doing this like what 6 or 7 months now. It's been a long time. Well, I'm totally grateful for you, and thank you so much for that. Yeah, how are you doing today? How's everything going with you? Today's been all right for me. I found out something really interesting actually. My great step grandfather actually knew Albert Einstein. How pretty cool, how pretty amazing is that, right? To like have some kind of connection to Albert Einstein. I didn't think I was in any way, shape, or form connected with the guy, except that, he lived in America and, he blew up a lot of stuff. And I don't know, I didn't blow up much stuff, but yeah, he's a pretty awesome dude. And so I have some kind of weird, family connection to the guy. Let's see, you said you're doing well. Cook some good vegetarian food. Wow, yeah, I could use some good vegetarian. Now you're making me hungry. How about you come on over here and give me some of that good vegetarian food? I mean, it's not good to meditate on an empty stomach. You want to have like your needs met and you don't want any distractions. Now I'm all hungry. Yeah, well, and you're a good cook. I remember. You took all those cooking classes and you learned how to make some great vegetarian meals. So that's really cool that you're still continuing that and making some quality dinners. Yeah, it is cool, right? To have that connection to Albert Einstein. I mean, he was a pretty remarkable man, right? Everyone knows about Einstein. It's funny, like he has got like his one of his famous pictures is like the one where he's like being really silly in it, and I guess that was very atypical of him. He was actually a very serious person in real life, and he just for some reason he just took like one very silly picture, and that's like the one that's popularized him. But that's kind of weird. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, I went to games night tonight, hence my Super Metroid shirt. Right? I always wear the Metroid shirt when I go to games night. Well, not always, but sometimes. Metroid is one of my favorite series of all times. I love playing the Metroid games. Super Metroid, the one for Super Nintendo, was a game I really enjoyed. I was always digging that. So yeah. I always sport the shirt when I'm going to games night. Tonight we played Machi Koro. It's a cool like a deck builder. You build like an engine, and it's just a quality game. It was me and a few good friends, and got to hang out and play that, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I do that on Thursdays. Lately it's been every other Thursday, but that could change over time. Who knows? Let's see what else is going on in my world. I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about mindfulness, thinking a lot about what I can do to not allow myself to be so attached to things in the external world. Because attachments, Buddhists really had it right. Attachments are the root of a lot of suffering. When we get overly attached to things in the external world that are out of our control, then when those things don't go our way, we get upset, right? We lose our shit. We lose our mind. Hey, let's go, Brandon. You're now following. Thank you. Much appreciated. I appreciate the follow. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I usually talk for a little bit, and then I jump on in and do the meditation. Hey, Tap is new. How you doing? Good to see you. It's been a while. Yeah, hello to you too. I hope you're having a good day today. I hope all is well in your world. Yeah, so it was weird. I'd been streaming very regularly, and then I went like 18 days without streaming. And then 2 days ago I started streaming again. So I streamed 2 days ago. I streamed yesterday, and now I'm streaming again today. So that's probably why you haven't seen me around. So yeah, it feels good to be back though. Like I didn't stream for those 18 days because I was not in the mental space to stream. Like if I don't feel inspired to stream, if I don't feel good and like feel like I have something to bring to people and bring to the table, then I'm not gonna stream. I'm not gonna come out here and do like a half-ass stream. It's really important to me to give good quality to the people I care about. So Yeah, that's why I haven't been streaming. But now, a couple days ago, I was feeling inspired and I did it and it felt good. And I started remembering, like my purpose with it, right? I remembered, hey, I can help people, have good meditations. I can help, guide people through the meditative world, right? So uh, that felt good. And then yesterday, I also streamed, and that felt really awesome. It was good to be back out there and streaming. And then today, I'm doing the same thing. I wasn't gonna stream today because I was at games night, but at the last minute, I got home early actually, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna stream. There could be someone out there who wants to experience a meditation, and so I'm gonna share that with them, right? And maybe I can help someone today. You're having a good day, awesome. Yeah. Well, what about me? Let's see. I'm having a good day too overall. I was mentioning a little bit earlier. I found out that my step grandfather actually knew Albert Einstein, or step great grandfather knew Albert Einstein. So I think that's pretty awesome, right? I never knew that. I never knew I had any kind of connection to Einstein at all. But like to think that someone in my family was like friends with the guy was like a pretty awesome thing to find out. I found that I was having lunch with my father and we were just talking and I was asking him about some of his relatives, and yeah, I just found that out. I never knew that before. He just said it very casually, like during the middle of our lunch, and I was like, "Whoa, that's actually pretty awesome," And yeah, it's weird, like the stories people tell and the stories people don't tell, right? Sometimes if you ask your parents or your grandparents about their childhood, like something will come up and it's something you've never heard, and it's really interesting. That right there fascinated me. So I'm going to look into that more. I want to see if we have like any letters or correspondence between him and Einstein, because that would be pretty fucking badass if I had like a letter of like my step great grandfather talking to Albert Einstein. I mean, that I'd frame it and put it on the wall. That'd be pretty badass. But yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on with me. How's everyone else in the chat doing? What's going on? I need to hear from the good people in the chat. I can sit here and be patient too. I'm okay with silences. I'm a meditation instructor, right? I should be okay with silence. Oh, JT Farms is here. Thank God. She's my channel shaman. So, but without JT, I never know what to do. I never know what to ever do. She regulates the energy in here. She keeps things positive, keeps good energy coming in, bad energy flowing out. JT has been around since the beginning. She's been around in my streams for a long time. So it's always awesome to have you here, JT. I hope all is well with you. How is your day going today? I hope it's going well. Yeah, what else? Oh, here's a funny story about the uncomfortable silences. When I was in grad school for philosophy, there was this guy that I was friends with named Logan, and he could not handle uncomfortable silences. And so, so like one of the professor was trying to make a schedule when people were going to present their papers, and like no one wanted to do it the first weekend because like there was this other big like event going on that weekend and no one would have any time. So he's like, all right, who wants to do it the first weekend, and no one wanted to do it. And then he's like, well, I'm just going to sit here and be quiet until someone chooses it, right? And everyone knew that Logan hated uncomfortable silences. So he was just sitting there and he started getting more and more uncomfortable. And then eventually he's like, fine, I'll do it. So then he just even though he had like tons of shit to do that week and that was like the worst possible week for him to present, he ended up doing it because he couldn't bear the uncomfortable silence. And that kind of shows a lot about like our culture and the different ways people are, right? If some people are perfectly fine with silence. Like I've been with people before and we just sit, we don't say a word, and I don't know, 20 minutes go by and we're just content, just chilling. And then I've been with other people and at times in my life where it's like shit, if there's like more than 5 seconds of silence, one of us is talking and saying something. It's always weird, the notion about silence. Let's see, JT, you say you've been doing good lately. It's a weird feeling, not sure how to handle feeling good. Oh, feeling good is weird for you. Yeah, right. It's always weird, right? If you're used to not feeling well, and then that happens like for like a long period of time, you're like acclimated to not feeling well, and then all of a sudden, you just start feeling good, and you have a good energy, and you feel feel like happy and positive, it can throw you off, right? It can throw you off kilter, and you're like, whoa, like I feel good. I don't feel like murdering the world. This is a new type of experience. Yeah, like what the fuck, right? It's like a weird thing. I totally get what you're saying, all right? We get, and our minds are accustomed to, acclimating to whatever mental state we're in for long periods of time, right? So if we're in a state where we're for like a long period of time where we're in pain, for instance, and then that pain's gone, it's kind of weird too. Like I've been having lower back pain for quite some time, and I went in and got a diagnostic procedure done pretty recently, and what they did is there's these three nerves that run horizontal in the lower spine, the very base of your spine, and they injected painkiller directly into the nerve endings of those three nerves. So there was 6 total injections, 3 on each side going down, and all of my fucking pain went away. It was crazy because I haven't had a break from lower back pain in forever, and for all of my back pain to go away, it was so weird. And I couldn't even get used to it. I was like, whoa, like what's going on here? I'm in no lower back pain. This feels really weird. I just kept like moving around and trying to like see if I could feel some pain because I'm used to feeling it. But yeah, it was wild to not experience it. Oh, look who just came in here. Look who just came in here. Swiss R. What is up, brother? Good to see you, man. Swiss R is an awesome dude here. He's a streamer here in the fitness and health community on Twitch. I'll give a shout out to his other Swiss R. Can we join your stream? Who do you mean? Who's we? Can you tell me a secret? Can we join your stream? Who? I don't know who you're talking about. Yeah, you're welcome to join. Of course, you're welcome to join my stream, man. You're always welcome in here. It's such a great group of people. Can we get some more chilled hype? Yeah, I mean, of course. Yeah, I'm going to be doing meditation in just a few minutes. Oh, check me out. What's going on? Yeah, that's right. She streams tonight, doesn't she? That's right. I think she streams Wednesday and Thursday nights. Is she gonna come by or something? What's the deal? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen anything yet, so we'll see. But I'm just gonna continue, and if we're ready to do some meditation, we'll do some meditation because that's what we do here. Yeah, absolutely. Bring anyone you want here, man. Yeah, I would love to have people in here, man. The more the merrier. Okay. That is awesome. That is really cool. Yeah, I've never had a raid that big. That would be pretty wild if she ended up coming 88. That would be intense. If I had 88 people in here, I have never had anywhere near that. JT, are you ready for this? I'm gonna need you and Swiss as my mods to help out the situation if this is the case. This is gonna be intense. This is gonna be super intense. We'll see. We'll see if it actually goes through. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I have a big. I don't want to get my hopes up ever for things because then if I do, then I'm let down. I'd rather be a pessimist, the eternal pessimist at times. It just makes me feel better. Then I'm never let down in life, right? If I never think that things are going to happen. So yeah, I don't know. What was I talking about here? Oh yeah, Swiss. Oh yeah, anyway, Swiss does these amazing streams here on Twitch. You definitely want to check him out. He does. Rivish, hey, you're here. Hello. Wow, good to see you, friend. Thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Yeah, I was just giving a shout out to Swiss R. Swiss R is a phenomenal streamer here on Twitch. He does these amazing streams in Switzerland. These beautiful Travixian. Check me out. Raided me with a party of 78. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Well, what do we got here? Master Player, thank you so much for the follow. Gibby Livens, thank you so much for the follow. Super, super appreciated. You brought all your love over here. Check me out. Thank you so much. Such a super kind gesture. Wow, this is incredible. All right, I gotta get my game face on right now. This is amazing. Well, thank you all for joining. Those of you who don't know, I'm Agni James. I do guided meditations here on Twitch. Alton LA, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. I also do philosophy. I'm also a philosopher. I went to graduate school, have my master's degree in analytic philosophy, so that's something else I talk about here a lot. Han Fouquet or Han Fuck, whatever. Thank you so much. for the follow. Much appreciated. This is amazing. Tons of love here. Yeah, everyone here definitely. Sandy Graves, check. Thank you so much for the follow. Sandius Graves. Sandy. Ooh, I like that name. Sandius Graves. Thank you so much for the follow. Super appreciated. What love checking out. Thank you so much. Super appreciated for your bringing your community over here and sharing them with me. It warms my heart. Jokovic, thank you so much for the follow. I mean, this is crazy. I might just be saying thank you so much for the follow for the next 20 minutes. This is amazing. Thank you, Kyber Crystal, for the follow. Much appreciated. Much love. This is incredible. We have such good energy here. Yeah. So I'm a philosopher who also does meditation, and I'm trained in Western philosophy. Onyx 106. This is wild. This is truly wild. Okay, I'm glad I'm wearing my Super Metroid shirt here today. My Metroid shirt. I need that Metroid energy to handle this. This is intense. This is really intense. All right. So yeah, I do philosophy. I was talking about the mind-body problem recently, and maybe I'll go into that a little bit, and also the hard and easy problems of consciousness. So David Chalmers is one of the premier philosophy of mind philosophers on Earth right now. Actually, he's incredible. He's done a tremendous amount of work in philosophy of mind, and he was distinguishing between the easy and the hard problems of consciousness. Right, like a lot of people, a lot of philosophers and neuroscientists are interested in what consciousness is. Right, and so the easy problems of consciousness are things like what is the difference between consciousness when you're sleeping and waking, right? And like what is the difference between how do people focus their attention on a given X in the world or a given Y, and how do they differentiate between X's and Y's and things like that, right? They're things we don't necessarily have an answer to right now, but we at least have like leads on how to solve them. And eventually, maybe when we have more technology, we'll be able to figure out how to actually solve those problems. Now, the hard problem of consciousness is what is perception? Like, what does it feel like to be something? Like, what does it feel like to be a bat? That's like the famous one that Thomas Nagel wrote a paper about. What it's like to be a bat, right? We have no idea what it would feel like to experience existence as like another animal, as like a dog or a cat or a bat, right? We just don't have that capacity to even understand what that would be like. And if we did experience that, we wouldn't have the human perspective with us, such that we'd be able to actually bring that back to our human form. And so the hard problem of consciousness, most people don't think that we're ever going to solve this problem, because it just seems really weird. And it's like, what is experience? How do I convey my experience to another human being? How do I tell someone, okay, this is precisely what I'm feeling, and actually let someone know that, right? It would be like the equivalent of trying to explain to someone who's blind what it's like to see something, right? You can tell them every single thing in your experience about what it's like to see, but that's still not going to translate if the person hasn't actually seen anything before. It's like there's some thought experiments. Some of you might have heard of them. The most famous one is Mary, the vision scientist, who's never seen the color red. But she knows everything about color. So here's the thought experiment, and we do these intuition pumps and thought experiments in philosophy to try to understand things better, right? So to try to maybe get our intuitions to kick in more. So here's the notion. So you have this lady, Mary, who was born and raised in a black and white room. So every single thing in her field of vision is black and white. And we're vastly in the future, we're far into the future, and she's been able to understand single thing there is to know about the color, the wavelengths and the color spectrum and the color red, right? She knows all about colors, she knows everything, but she's never actually seen a color. So if the notion is, if she has the totality of information about what it's like, what the color red is and how the color red is perceived by the visual spectrum in the eyes and whatnot, and it just has the entire breadth of scientific literature about vision, and it's completely understood. And then she walks, but she's never seen red, and then she walks out of the room and she saw something that was red. Would there be new knowledge gained? when she saw that thing that is red? Like, would she be like, "Whoa, that's crazy! I've never been able to experience that before. I've never been able to see that. I don't understand that. Or would she have already known what the color red is?" And so the idea is basically saying that experience is something different than the totality of knowledge about a given subject. So that's the Mary thought experiment that they talk about a lot. But anyways, oh, it's Check Meow's birthday. Oh my God! Happy birthday, Check Meow. We should give a boom command to that. Let's see if I can do this right. Yeah, we'll do a boom for your birthday. Happy birthday, Check Meow. Super awesome of you. What are you, like 20 now? Super kind, rating me on your birthday and everything. So much love. Much appreciated. I hope you're having a great birthday. I hope you're having a really awesome birthday. Um, yeah, November 11th. 11/11 is your birthday. That's cool. That's a special day. That's cool that you're born 11/11. That's pretty neat. All right, so where are we at here? I know I missed some stuff in chat. Let me go back. Check me out. You said you did a loving kindness meditation today, so we wanted to hit shower you with a loving kindness. So much appreciated. Well, it's super nice, super warms my heart. Thank you so much. I know such wonderful people here on Twitch in the fitness and health community, and check me out. You're like a total professional. You're here spreading the love and light every day. I've been listening to checking out your streams almost like probably like five days a week. When I'm trying to go to bed. A lot of times I have difficulty sleeping, so I'll come and I'll check out some of your reruns, and it's able to calm me down and put me in a more mellow, peaceful state of mind. And I'm just super appreciative for them. And yeah, I always try to check out your stream whenever I can, and that's just really, really nice that you were willing to raid me today. I'm super grateful. So thank you so much for that. And I hope you're having a phenomenal birthday. How was your birthday? I hope you're feeling good. I hope everything's good. And then let's see, Roko Hemda's here. Dude, it's so grateful that you're here. I've known Roko Hemda since I was 5 years old. He's one of he is my best friend. I've known the guy forever, and it's for him to be able to tolerate me since I was 5 years old. I mean, what an awesome dude, right? Like, I'm a pretty abrasive guy. I'm from Chicago, and I just people from Chicago tend to rub people the wrong ways. But yeah, this guy's been able to tolerate me, so he's definitely a patient, nice dude. Let's see, Jokovic, you say we love you. Thank you so much. Such love. There's always such good energy. And I said this yesterday when I was in your stream. Check me out. You always have such phenomenal energy in your streams. It's like you bring together all the most positive, loving, kind people, on the planet, and they all just flock to you and flock to what you do. And I have such respect for how much work you put in. And you've been streaming a long time. You've been doing this so long. And it's like, you just always, you keep improving. I know you used to have a different set of sound bowls, and I think remember you saying you like traded in some of them or something and got like a better version or more expensive bowls, better bowls. And it's like you're always improving and working to better your stream. And it's just, you help so many people on a daily basis. I mean, like me, even when you're not streaming with your reruns, I'll go to your rerun, and I'll just put it on because it's like it's going to help me get some sleep. I mean, you're helping insomniacs like me actually, be able to not be super exhausted all the time. So super grateful for your gracefulness and for your kindness and for all the help you do. Some people you can just tell that they're out there, that they're genuine, and they're out there trying to help people in the world, and they're devoting themselves to that. And you're one of those people. Check me out. I always, for some reason, I like to slip up and say check. Oh yeah, because here's why. Because for the first couple months that I saw your streams, I was calling you Check Meow instead of Check Me Out. I didn't. I thought the T was just like some random thing you threw onto the end of your name, and then it hit me one day. I was like, oh, it's Check Me Out. That's even more clever, So yeah, and you're also clever. You're a clever, awesome person. So I just really, I'm really grateful for you and what you've brought to Twitch. And the cool thing is you're fighting against the Twitch stereotype, right? Because initially the Twitch stereotype was, oh, it's a toxic cesspool, it's just a bunch of gamers being, really toxic, yelling at the chat, right? And you're going in there and you're fighting against it. You're bringing love and light into a world where, and yeah, there are some toxic streamers, that's true, but not everyone's like that, right? And you're coming in and you're bringing positivity and kindness and compassion to the world, like in the midst of, like, a lot of toxicity. It's pretty awesome that you do that. And a lot of people in the fitness and health community do the same thing. I mean, a lot of the yogis, like, Grace Yoga, she's always bringing love and light. Yoga with Jen, Evelyn Yoga. I mean, there's tons of yogis out there, tons of people doing, good meditations and trying to help others. And you're like a main force for that. So thank you so much for what you do. You've really been a bigger inspiration to me, and not just me, but a lot of people. A lot of people I've talked with, have said that your streams are profound, and you're helping people. I know you're reading that book, the Craving Mind, right now, and that's awesome that you're doing that. It's a book about ways to battle addiction through mindfulness. Definitely check it out. I think she's reading. I think check me out. You're reading those on Wednesday nights, right? So it's just super super awesome that you're doing that, because there's a lot of people that battle with addiction. I mean, so I live in Chicago, and Chicago is the heroin hub of the capital. So you get all the heroin comes on in through Mexico, and for some reason it just comes up to Chicago. That's like the hub, and then it gets distributed throughout the country. So I have had about 10 to 15 friends over the years that have been addicted to heroin, and it's fucking terrible. Heroin is one of the worst drugs possible. In fact, everyone that I know who has done heroin, every single person has said that they wish they had not done it. So when I was presented with it, I was like, well, hold on, I could do this thing that every single person that I know that has been doing it has said they would wish they had not done it, or I could not do it. So it was an easy choice for me. But my friends, a lot of my friends got into it, and some of my friends have died from fucking heroin overdoses. It's like, it's really an evil drug. I mean, stay away from that fucking drug. Everyone just never even try it. Don't even experiment with it. It's like, it's just one of those drugs where you don't even want to experiment with it, because it's going to make you feel so fucking good that you're never going to want to get off it. So anyways, but yeah, so like there's a lot of so you're reading that, talking about the book The Craving Mind, and in that book, they're talking about ways of beating addiction, and like that's awesome, because I know so many people that have been addicted to stuff over the years, and it's really sad. Drugs turn people, like drugs like that turn people into monsters. I mean, one of my best friends growing up, this guy was the nicest, kindest guy. He had a high moral standing, super wonderful dude, and then he got addicted to heroin, and next thing you know, he pawned his mother's wedding ring. Like, how fucking crazy is that? And this guy was a top-notch moral standing guy, super kind, loving, compassionate, and then he's pawning his mom's wedding ring. I knew other people that went to jail for a lot of theft and shit like that after they got addicted to heroin. It's like, I think in Fear and Loathing they say Hunter Thompson was saying that you can turn your back on a person but never turn your back on a drug, and that's true. If someone's addicted to heroin, they start doing shit that they would never have done to you, prior to that. So stay away from that shit, But yeah, be the light, absolutely. Yeah, you said that's a battle some days. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's tough to stay positive and to bring love and light into a world that can be toxic, right? And I talk about this a lot in my streams. I say, well, when we go out into the external world, how do we want to interact with people? Do we want to engage with them in ego battles? Do we want to be like, getting sucked into their negativity? Do we want to lose our peace of mind? Do we want to get in a battle with them such that we may win the argument, but then at the cost of what? Like losing a friend, or losing our own peace of mind, or them losing their peace of mind? That's not the way to do it. So what I do is I recommend, at least, that we envision other people such that their essence is the same as ours, and that essence at the foundational core being pure love, and just pure oneness and pure peace. And if we view everyone else in the world as being the same as us at the core, at the foundation, then it's easy to bypass the ego dynamics and just connect with them as if they're pure love, right? So it's like, what I say is, in my meditations, I always try to bring people down beneath the level of consciousness. So here's like the level of consciousness, around the head. I try to bring people down to the level of the heart chakra, where we have all that love and that joy, and we can feel that perfect peace. And then once we feel that perfect peace, all that ego shit goes away. We don't need that, and then we can bring that light out into the world, and we can connect with people in a very peaceful state. And even if they're like verbally attacking and aggressive in a verbal sense, we can choose to detach ourselves from that and not allow it to affect us. Like that's one of my big things. I love being in a situation where things around me are getting really chaotic, and maybe the people around me are losing their heads, but I'm able to maintain a totally zen, peaceful state of being. Because if I can do that, then I can help others. I can show people, hey, you don't need to be caught up in this ego nonsense, right? You can choose to let it go and go beneath the level of ego to your place of truth, capital T truth in the heart, and connect with them on that level. And then I can make a difference that way. I used to teach special education back in the day, and I worked at the school that had the kids that were kicked out of every other special needs school in the Illinois area, right? So like we had some of the toughest cases, and it was crazy, right? It was a crazy place to work because these kids were dangerous to themselves and others, like quite frequently, right? One of the stories I tell is the first day, my first day of there, I'm like just observing a classroom, and it's a very long, narrow room, and I'm standing in the doorway, and there's a girl on the far end of the room who is just chilling on a beanbag chair, just like laying there. And then there's another kid who's working with the teacher in the middle of the room, and then there's another kid on the other far end of the room who's sitting on a computer. He's got like a helmet on to protect his head because he would bang his head sometimes. And everything's peaceful and fine, and I'm just watching. And all of a sudden, the girl at the far end of the room just jumps up and starts sprinting as fast as she can across the room, like super fast, like a full out sprint, directly at the kid at the very other far end of the room who's on the computer, and she dives full force with her hands like this, just dives right into the back of that kid's head and smashes his fucking head into the computer monitor. It shatters, and it's like crazy, and like the kid's screaming and crying, and it was out of nowhere. There was nothing that like set her off or triggered it. It was just, who knows, like what set her off. So it's like you had to constantly be ready for war when you were in that environment. And it taught me a lot about patience, about tolerance. I mean, I got punched, I got spit on all the time. It was just how it was. So what I would do is I would do meditation and yoga for a minimum three hours, usually 3.5 hours, prior to going into work every day, so that I could go in there in a perfectly calm, tranquil state of mind. And then when I would get in there, I would be able to exude that peace and love to other people around me. I'd be able to share that with them. And then we were able to be more peaceful and keep our heads more when, a student would attack us or things like that. So, all right, I've been doing a lot of talking. I think it's time we actually do some meditation. Sometimes talk is cheap, and sometimes it's better to actually just hop into the meditation. So I always come out really intense. I'm always like super, wired right off the bat. And then we slow things down. We lower the intensity. We go within to the state of perfect peace at our heart chakra. And we begin our meditation. So you'll want to find a comfortable seated position. You can sit on the floor in lotus pose. You can sit cross-legged. You can even sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a seated position that is comfortable for you. And then gently close your eyes and take a few deep breaths on your own. I have a Buddhist chant that I play that has a chime that goes off every 2 seconds, and you can use that to help regulate your breath count. Take a few more deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. Keep your attention on your breath count. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Be mindful of your breath. Visualize yourself sitting on a mountaintop, watching the clouds move beneath you. Two clouds merge into one, and one cloud separates into two. The clouds move through the sky and disappear over the horizon. Those clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being, exist in conscious awareness for a while, and then disappear from our minds. That is the nature of human thought. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit. Stay focused on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Return your awareness to your breath count. Your essence is love. The manifestation of love is light. Your purpose is to shine your light on others. Awakening the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. Until the whole world is glowing radiantly once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego that obscures your third eyesight. Stay focused on your breath. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. The purpose of this meditation is to go beneath the level of thought. Go to your breath. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which clouds your third eye vision. Keep your awareness on your breath count. Your foundational essence is love. You are not your thoughts. The manifestation of love is light. You are not your thoughts. Your purpose is to shine your light on others. You are not your thoughts. Awakening the inner light in all those you encounter. You are not your thoughts. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. Until all of humanity is glowing radiantly as one light once again. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Be mindful of your breath count. when thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing from conscious awareness. And return your focus to your breath count. On your next inhale, travel down beneath the level of conscious awareness. Go to the region of your heart chakra. Feel the love that emanates from that location. Feel the warmth that surrounds that love. Feel the oneness that resides in that region. Feel the perfect peace entailed in that oneness. That state of absolute monism has been given to you for eternity. Stay focused on that love. The dualistic framework that we inhabit on a daily basis is rooted in separation. The ego would have us think that that is all that exists. But when we let go of the ego and travel down to our heart chakra, we feel the perfect love that exists in a state of absolute monism. In monism, there can be no separation. For in monism, only oneness exists. That is our natural state. That is the place of perfect peace. And we can go there whenever we're stressed in the external world. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, releasing all ego, which would obscure your third eye sight. Stay focused on your perfect love. On your next breath, travel down deeper into that love. Allow yourself to feel the perfect peace that resides there. Give yourself permission to experience the perfect oneness that exists. Allow yourself to let go of all your pain. On your next breath, travel further down into that love. See the light that radiates from your love. Allow yourself to feel the joy that exists there. Give yourself permission to be free from all fear. Go down further into that love until you find the center point. Reside in the loving embrace of that center point. Feel the perfection that flows from that center point. And when you're ready, go on through. I'll meet you on the other side. At your center, you come to remember who you truly are. At your center, you come to remember how you came to be. At your center point, you come to remember what you are. At your center, you come to remember your divine purpose. The center point radiates the purest love imaginable. Your essence is that purest love. That love flows eternally from the source of all creation. And you are an extension of that love. are divine. Your essence is immutable. You are omnipresent. You are omniscient. There is no lack within you. No separation can exist within you. You extend everywhere in all directions. Filling all of creation with love and light. Inhale. Exhale, releasing any ego that remains from your mind. Breathe in. Breathe out, giving yourself permission to experience the perfect oneness within. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Breathe in. Breathe out, giving yourself permission to allow your body to be healed. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your mind. Breathe in. Breathe out, giving your mind permission to be healed. Focus on your breath count. Our foundational essence is eternal love. And that will never change. You will glow radiantly forever. And that will never change. Your divinity can never be tarnished. And that will never change. You are one with all of creation. And that will never change. Inhale, taking the deepest breath of the day. And exhale, releasing any residual fear and worry from your mind. Gently open your eyes and return to the present moment, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here with me. I am truly honored and humbled to be here as your meditation guide. The fact that you came here to meditate and share this sacred space with me warms my heart more than I can convey with words. I love each and every one of you, and I wish you the best in all your endeavors. And I hope you feel a little more peaceful than you did prior to the meditation. Thank you so much. How was that, everyone? I hope you all got something out of that. Oh, Hi Yoga. Excellent. So good to see you here. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, let's give you a shout out. Hi Yoga. Hi Yoga is an incredible yoga streamer here on Twitch. I've learned a lot from her practice. She knows her yoga. She really does. If you're looking for an amazing yoga stream, definitely go to Hi Yoga and check out her stream. And Subi Blue, you're here as well. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you came here and were able to participate in this meditation. I hope you're feeling well after that. I'm feeling a lot more peaceful. Prior to the meditation, I was really intense and I had a lot of intense energy, and now I feel a lot more relaxed. I feel a lot more of that divinity. And last night's ghost is here. Let's give a big shout out to last night's ghost. Wow, we got the whole crew here tonight. Such a great group of people here. Definitely check out last night's ghost. She is awesome. She does all sorts of storytelling. She tells scary stories, and we watch scary movies and stuff like that over there. And she's just like a super fun, kind, warm person. I love your energy, last night's ghost. You're such an awesome human being. And she's so personable. She gets to know everyone by their first name too, which is amazing. It just shows that she cares. It's a sign that she cares, and she's willing to learn people's names and to remember them. And it's really, really awesome. Christine the Bean, hello. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great night. We've had such a good crew here today. JT Farms, my channel shaman. I'm super happy that you are here and helping out with keeping the energy in the chat in good balance. JT Farms is a poet, and she also regulates the energy of the chat. She gets rid of all the negative energy and keeps all the positive energy flowing in here. So yeah, it's really really cool. And then all of those who followed today, I'm super grateful to all of you. If I missed anyone, um, let's see. I know we have some people. Spooter76, thank you so much for the follow. I'm totally grateful and appreciative of you. Super kind of you to do so. And let's see. Ankapur. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with pronouncing names. And let me try that again. Anchapur. That's the best I can do. That's all I got right now. I got that post meditation, post yogic, joy bubbling up inside of me. I'm just trying to keep it together for the remainder of this stream. And thanks again to check me out. I'm so grateful that you were kind enough to share your love with my family today and to raid me. That was super, super kind of you. Totally appreciative. Thank you so much. You brought your family to my family, and I'm super grateful. And I really hope you are having a wonderful birthday, and I hope you have had a phenomenal birthday. I mean, it really made my day to have such a good group of people here hanging out. So yeah, thank you all so much. And let's see. Yeah, it is. It's funny, high yoga. You talk about the yoga high. There definitely is. There's like a yoga high or a meditation high. If you really go deep into that meditation, you just feel high. It's like the equivalent of like a runner's high, but I like it better. I think it's even more profound because you connect with that source of all creation. You can go into that oneness and really explore what's there, and you can feel it emanating throughout your entire being. And once you feel that, you're like, oh yeah, what was I getting? Why was I getting so distracted with all this nonsense in the external world? All these ego battles and dynamics that I was engaging in. You can just let all that shit go because it's not important. It doesn't matter. What matters is finding that state of perfect oneness and connecting with other people in that state of pure perfect oneness. Because if you're going to connect to them via the ego, nothing productive is going to happen out of that. If you're going to connect with them via love, then you can actually meet them in a place of truth and connect with them in a place of reality. So that's kind of one of the things I like to teach here. Let's see. Night's Ghost, you say you needed this. Well, I'm here for you. I'm here for everyone. I'm here to try to teach what I've learned. Which is meditation, philosophy, and meditation. Those are the two things that I know and that I can teach, and I try to teach those to people, and that to give people peace and love and oneness in their lives. Because there's the way the world is set up right now, it's like it's set up to divide us. It's set up to say, okay, well, you have to be on this side or this side. And that's bullshit. That's totally bullshit. You don't need to be on a side. I'm on the side of everyone. I love every single person on the planet unconditionally. Unconditionally. Nothing but the purest love, because I don't view others as being the set of all their beliefs. When I think about identity, my metaphysical uh, assumption about the nature of identity is such that our identities are all love. And if we're all the same, if at the foundational core we are all pure love, then how could I ever be upset with another human being? I mean, they're not. I don't believe that another person is their belief set. I believe that they are pure love. So I love everyone. And it's like, yeah, if someone is going to like punch me in the face, punch my body. I should say this: if someone's body is going to punch my body in the face, obviously I'm going to defend myself, right? But I'll probably be upset in the moment, but at the end of the day, I'm going to forgive that person and I'm going to love them, because we don't need more hate and retaliation in this world. We need to unify. We need to bring people together and not rip people apart. So yeah, that's my personal belief, and people can differ, with me and that notion, but like that's fine. I respect everyone's beliefs. Let's see. Chad guy, hey, good to see you. Good to see you, friend. How does one reach total enlightenment? Wow, that's a really good question. I don't know. I haven't reached total enlightenment. I can, feel love and peace and joy during meditation and during yoga, and there's times where I can get it to carry with me throughout the course of the day. But there's, the way the whole world is set up, it's set up to try to bait you, and to get you to lose your peace of mind. And so there's always like these ego dynamics that are going to make one like lose their peace of mind and lose their cool. And maybe it's traffic for you, being caught in rush hour traffic, or maybe you have a boss that says disparaging comments to you or something like that. But at the end of the day, you can always choose whether or not to allow that to affect you. And now, sure, easier said than done, right? But I'm just saying it can be done. And it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be times where no matter how much meditation and yoga and qigong and kumnaye and all that stuff you practice, you're going to lose your cool, and that's fine. We're human beings. We're works in progress. But my feeling is that there's an ideal that we strive towards. We strive towards the ideal of being able to go through the world, out into the external world, and maintain our peace and our love within us at all times. And that way we can do the most good for the world. We're the most causally effective in helping the people around us. That's just my notion about it. Let's see. Hi Yoga, you say the shift that can happen in the mind and body during a practice is amazing. Yeah, it totally is. It totally is. From nervous and stressed to calm and connected to self and the present moment. Absolutely, right? When we're nervous and when we're in an ego state of mind, and when we're dealing with other people's egos as opposed to dealing with their true selves, which is their love, then we're not going to be very effective in dealing with them in a positive way. But when we're able to be calm and present, and able to connect with that part of them, that truth in them, then we can actually do some good in the world. Then we can finally, spread the love and joy that we're intended to spread. And there won't be these ego blockages that are preventing us from actually sharing, giving our gifts to everyone else. At least that's my opinion. Last night's ghost. You say hate is easy to give, unconditional love is hard. So true. Absolutely true. Let me tell you a little story, actually. I once was, when I used to teach special ed, I was talking about this, and then I also used to ride on the buses. They would need a teacher or an aide, a staff member there on the bus to help out. And so I would ride the buses, and make sure that the kids are okay, and while we were on the bus. And the guy that was in charge with transportation was super stressed and really intense, really intense guy, and was always angry and hostile with people. And one time he absolutely lost it on me, and he just said all these disparaging comments, and he was berating me and just telling me all these nasty things about he was upset that I didn't tell him I wasn't going to be there one day, but I had already told the boss over him, and I had already told the bus driver, and there was no policy to actually tell this guy directly, and so he was just upset about something. So I was really offended. I'm like, dude, why are you screaming in my face? I lost it. I said some ego things back to him, and then I came back home, and I was laying in bed at night, and I felt unsettled, and I was like this is garbage. Why did I lose my peace of mind? Why did I allow myself to lose my peace because of what's going on with another human being? Obviously the guy is not very happy, and he was taking it out of me. So why did I choose? We always make choices. I chose to allow my peace to be usurped in that moment. So I laid there, and I just visualized him in my mind as pure love and light. I just visualized him happy and smiling in a perfectly positive state. And I just was sitting there thinking about him, and I said, I love you, and I release you. I forgive you from this nonsense between us. I forgive you. And when I said that, immediately all of that pain and hate and anger dissipated. It just was gone. And I was just fine with him. I was fine with him. And I went in the next day, and even though it was his fault, I apologized to him. And I said, listen, Rich, I'm so sorry. I know you're stressed. I should have told you. Even though he was totally in the wrong, I apologized to him. And you know what? He was like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry too. I shouldn't have been saying those mean things to you. I was totally out of line. And then we were fine. We were totally fine, and we had this good relationship ever since then. And that's the way to deal with people. You forgive them. You break the chains, because there are these ego chains that get you stuck to another human being if you get in these ego battles with them. But if you can sever those chains and forgive them and allow your love to flow into them, then you can truly connect with them and make a difference in their life. And that's what's important in this world. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Let's see, where are we at here? Yeah, okay. The last time Ghost, you say, don't take it easy, folks. Yeah. Hi yoga. Who are my favorite philosophers? Well, that's a great question. I love talking about philosophy. My favorite philosopher of all time is Parmenides. He was a pre-Socratic from Elia, and in fact, I named my cat Purrmenides, Purr, as opposed to Parmenides, because I love that philosopher so much. He's the grandfather of metaphysics. He's the first person to write up an actual logical metaphysical argument. And it's so simple. It starts like this. What is. What is not. Because, and by the way, when he says what is, he's saying what exists. What doesn't exist, right? Because if something exists, obviously it exists. And if something doesn't exist, obviously it doesn't exist, right? That's foolproof logic. There's no way to break that, right? And he's referring to like at a given time. So at a given time, either something exists or something doesn't exist, right? There's no way to break that argument. That's like it's a tautology. It's going to be true no matter what, right? And then he uses that, and he goes down, and you can follow his chain of inferences, and he constructs this beautiful, logically deductive argument. And so yeah, Parmenides. I mean, we're talking 500 BCE. Like, how badass is that? We're in 500 BCE. This philosopher was doing that. And by the way, you might have heard of Zeno and Zeno's paradoxes. Zeno was his student, and Zeno actually came up with his mathematical paradoxes in order to promote the ideas of Parmenides, because Parmenides believed in the oneness of all things, and he believed anything that changes in the world of form is not real. That the only thing that actually exists is that state of pure oneness. So he's one of my favorite philosophies. I also dig Spinoza, Kant, obviously. Descartes was cool. Present day, David Chalmers. He's the man. I'm a big philosophy of mind guy, so I like David Chalmers, Daniel Dennett, David Lewis. I mean, these are all like big names in contemporary philosophy. Wittgenstein is a badass. I like a lot of his stuff, especially both the young Wittgenstein and the old Wittgenstein. Who else am I digging these days? I just got done reading a book on Isaiah Berlin, and he's pretty cool too. Most people don't know about him. He's a little more obscure of a philosopher. He's the guy who really promoted the idea of positive and negative liberty. Negative liberty being the notion that there should be a laissez-faire policy of government where we should just let everyone be, and positive liberty being the notion that people don't know what's best for themselves, so the government needs to intervene and help out people in certain ways. So Berlin's pretty cool. Let's see, who else am I digging these days? I mean, that's about it. I mean, Spinoza was my favorite for a long time. Spinoza and his monism is really cool. I'm big into monism and to all that, so I dig him. Kierkegaard's not bad. He can't, he's a little out there, but he's cool. I like him. But yeah, those are some of my favorites currently. All right, where are we at here now in chat? Let's see. Chad guy, you say true. However, doesn't the world need perfect balance of both hate and love? Well, it depends, right? It depends. That's a good question. It all depends what your metaphysical assumptions are about the nature of identity. So my metaphysical assumption is that all human beings are just pure love. That the body, it doesn't exist from the context of eternity, right? So it's like, sure, currently perceptually we're seeing ourselves as these disparate bodies, wandering around on this rock, that we call Earth, and that we're doing things in this realm, right? But I believe this is just an illusory dualistic framework. That's my foundational assumptions about the nature of reality, and my metaphysical assumptions about the nature of identity. Now, yeah, of course, people can differ with me in that. That's perfectly fine. I respect everyone's opinion, right? But that's what I believe. So if what I believe actually turns out to be the case and is true, hey, Oder13, thank you so much for the follow, much appreciated. So if what I believe actually turns out to be the case and is true, then you would not need hate, right? Because it would just be love. So it would be like there only is this one thing, it's love, and there's nothing else. And anything else is just a perceptual error. It's not real. It doesn't exist. So that would be like the idealist standpoint. And there have been some philosophers that will argue a similar point, like Parmenides, like one of my main go-to guys. Spinoza has a different form of monism, but it's there's enough similarities to continue with it. Hey, Benji boy 132, much appreciated. We got a lot of followers coming today. Totally grateful. Welcome to the community. My name's Agni James, and I do guided meditations on here. I'm also a philosopher. Got my master's degree in philosophy a few years back, and I love talking about philosophy. And we talk about everything. So yeah, welcome to the community. All right, so let's see. You say, Sumi Blue, Noah, I think you're misunderstanding the idea of hate. For instance, hating non-tangible objects. Well, yeah. I mean, so if you hate another being, like that's just playing into like the ego notion, right? Because you're not connecting with the love, right? You can't feel hate towards another person and connect with what is can't be accessed through hate, right? So love can only be accessed through love. So if you come from a place of love and you try to connect with other people, then the only target that you're going to have is their place of pure love, and that's how you can bypass all the ego, because we don't need to get in ego battles. We don't need to have that dynamic. That's there's enough people yelling at each other and fighting each other. You can just turn on the news and see that, right? I think that we need to just go through and bypass all that nonsense. And the way we can help heal the planet and help get everyone back on the same page and help the whole mind just reunite as one is just through love, right? It's nothing. I'm not saying anything new. I mean, there have been religions that have said this for thousands of years. There have been prophets that have been saying the same shit. I'm just regurgitating the same stuff. Okay, we got two things here. We have a stretch. All right, let me do the stretch. By the way, this is a Super Metroid. We got Metroid shirt here today. I love the Metroid series. Stretch out a little bit. Yeah, feels good. Stretch it out. Yeah, it's funny. It's like a lot of times, I mean, I practice yoga all the time, but like a lot of the movements I do are they're not even yogic movements. They're just like my own freestyle type stuff, and I just kind of stretch out my body the way that feels good to me. And then we have Chad Guy Redeemed Hydrate. All right. So I got a little water in me. Thank you for that, by the way, Chad Guy. And Odor 13. Like I need to remember to stretch and drink some water, right? Or else like I'll just be up here being loquacious for like a couple hours and not even drink anything. All right, let's see. Odor 13, you say, I know this is guided meditation, but can you also exercise a demon for me? Well, yeah. What do you mean? Not exercise. I got what you mean. Yeah. Get rid of it. Get rid of a demon for you. I get what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. I don't really have that potential. I mean, I'm not trained in exorcisms or anything like that. But I can say this. I've had plenty of demons in my existence, and I've had to purge myself from them. And the main thing is to just realize that the only power they have over you is what you choose to give them. Right? It's all nonsense. It's all ego nonsense, basically. It's like, oh, I'm going to allow myself to, be controlled by this ridiculous thought because I feel guilty or whatever. So like, I'm deserving of punishment or whatever. It's like some nonsense, right? So we can just kind of like, focus on the pure love within us and be like, that's absurd, and just, allow it to just go from us. And then we don't need to get caught up in it. We don't need to get tangled up in that. And I've been able to clear out a lot of the shit that has accumulated over the years in me. Just by like one thing that I do is I visualize this like beautiful, perfect altar, right? Where it's just nothing but love and light. And then maybe there's some like scattered papers around the room, right? And then I visualize like all of those papers just being shoved out, like blown out of like the window. Like, so the whole room is like a tornado and all that stuff just gets thrown out of the room and it just flies out the room. And then there's nothing but pure oneness and pure joy and pure love there. And when I do that, all of a sudden, like I feel this like relief in my chest. Like it's like all that pain and suffering just goes away, and I feel perfect love and joy. And then I'm like, oh yeah. And then I remember, I'm like, oh, I'm back home. I'm back to the place where I'm supposed to be. And then life's pretty easy when you can get to that place. But then over the course of your day or the course of time, stuff comes back in, right? You start accepting beliefs, or you get mad at someone, and then you have more junk come in, and then you got to clear that out. So it's kind of like a process, you know. I don't actually do any I don't do exorcisms or anything like that. I don't even know where to start, but I know how to clear my mind when it gets you know, polluted, I guess you could say. Let's see. JT Farms, you say, well, I love that that shirt has some damn colors on it. Yeah, right? I'm wearing some color. I'm usually a very monochrome guy, right? But this shirt is it has a lot of life on it, a lot of color on it, which is good for me. You know, I gotta break it up every now and then because I'm used to, like, if you saw my wardrobe, it would be my closet. It'd be a fucking joke to you. It's literally like black shirt after black shirt. I just have like nothing but black shirts. I have some white shirts. I'm into the monochrome scene, and then I have a few shirts that have a little bit of color on them, and that's always like it's always like you know, a special day when I wear one of those shirts. To Chad guy, you say self-loathing can be beneficial at times, or can self-loathing be beneficial at times, or only cause further problems? You tend to have a ton of self-loathing all day long. Dude, I understand your problem, man. I've had to deal with a lot of self-loathing in my life too. I was big at beating myself up for like the tiniest little things, you know. Like I would do some like make some tiny mistake, you know, when I was like, you know, 5 or 6 years old, and like I'd like fucking hate myself. You know, I remember when I was like 8 years old, and I got, you know, it was like a 100 point test, and I got, you know, 99 out of 100, and I came home and I was furious, and I like, you know, it was like, you know, smashing shit in my home. It's like, dude, you're like 8 years old and you're gonna be like freaking out that you got 99 out of 100. You know, like fuck that. Like that's not a healthy way of living. But that's how I used to be. I was a total perfectionist, and like I couldn't handle the fact of you know, making a single mistake, right? So yeah, I mean, I get what you're talking about with the self-loathing. I think it typically does cause more future problems, except it can be beneficial in that you can learn from it, right? You can learn like, wait a minute, this is not how I want to be. I don't want to be a being that is, you know, self-loathing all the time, that is experiencing the mental state of self-loathingness, and you know, like that's because that's not a very, you know, good way of existing. If we connect with our love inside of us, if we connect with a place of pure oneness and joy, then there is no loathing, because we realize that we are perfect at our core, at our foundational core. We are perfect, and that can never be changed because we're immutable at our core, and we're eternal, and that every other person that we ever encounter in our existences is also perfect because they have that same foundational presence, that they're love, that they're pure love. Now that's not to say that people aren't going to act in crazy ways, and like, you know, you get, it's like you might be saying, Agni, how can you say that like Hitler is perfect, or like Stalin, or you know, whatever politician, whatever, you know, you want to put an X in front of, right? And I'm going to say, well, at their foundational core, they're perfect. Now, their belief sets are fucking skewed, and they believe in the notion of separation and division, and that, you know, to attack people and to try to kill their bodies. But at their foundational core, there's nothing but pure love in anyone. That's, at least that's my belief, right? That's how I perceive reality. So because of that, I can feel love for everyone, regardless of what they did. Now, does that mean people that are serial killers shouldn't be locked up? Absolutely not. They need to be locked up, right? But that doesn't mean that we should, you know, still love that person, that we should still feel feelings of love for that person, even if they're a serial killer. You know, lock them up, make things safe for everyone else, but like at the same time, you know, feel compassion for them. And it's, now, is it easy, right? If someone came in and like murdered my fucking family, would it be easy for me to forgive them? Hell no. In fact, that would be the hardest thing in the world for any human being to do, right? But it's possible. And here's how I know it's possible. Because there was an Amish family about, I think I remember reading this about maybe 5 or 10 years ago. There was this Amish family whose kids were killed. Some guy came into this Amish town and like killed two of this Amish family's kids. And so then they're like sitting like in the courtroom, you know, with this guy, like after they caught the guy, and you know, they were this Amish family was, you know, was given a chance to speak or something, and the parents of who had just got their kids killed were like, hey, we just want we want to, you know, to everyone to know that we feel love and compassion for this person who killed our children. It's like, holy shit, what a statement. That affected me so much. This person's kids were killed by this dude, and their parents, and they're saying, we feel love and compassion for you, and we're going to pray for you and your family, and we hope, you know, your family must be going through a really rough time to see their kid who's now, you know, going to be in jail the rest of his life. We feel bad that they're having to go through this. We feel bad for you that you're going to be in jail the rest of your life in misery. But we want you to know that we feel love and compassion for you and we forgive you. It's like, what an amazing statement, right? To have your own kids killed and still feel love and compassion for that individual, right? If you can do that, if human beings have that power and that capacity to feel that love, even under those horrendous circumstances, then I mean, shit, I can get mad if someone like, I can not, hate someone forever if they key my car or if like they, say, give me a nasty look or say a snarky comment, right? I can let that shit go. I mean, that's just a really profound thing, though, to think. All right, where are we at here? Okay, let me go back up. Short, whoops, you blame your Finnish keyboard. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think I missed some of that stuff, but all right, where are we at here now? Okay, Chad guy, you say, should I shave off my beard for certain Twitch goals? That's intense, but here's the thing. This part of my beard was actually down to here just recently. I literally just chopped all this off. This was like down to here. And now it's like in this weird in-between state. And it has to do there's like a funny story behind it too. I was like, man, this is looking kind of weird. It's like down here, I just gave like a little cut, and I'm like, now it's not even. And I like gave another cut, and I'm like, now it's not even on this side. I lost it. I lost my fucking shit, cutting my goddamn beard, and next thing I know, it's like this short, and I don't even like the way it looks at all. So now I'm just gonna regrow it out, and I want it to get nice and long. I'd like to get it down to here again, but I want it a little more even. What I did is on the sides I had cut this part shorter, and then it wasn't blending in nicely down because I want to get it nice and even coming down almost to like a point, but not quite. I think I've had it close to that, but then I don't know. I always get like OCD about the shit, and I start just going at it, and then it always turns into a mess. All right, okay, but you were deemed suggest a poll, so let me get this in. I got to get this in. Let's get this poll going. How do I do this? I think it's poll. There's poll, and then I think should I shave off beard for as a Twitch goal? Okay, let's see if. Oh, it's not like. God damn it. All right, let me type it again. Should I make a Twitch redemption to shave off beard? Okay, and then responses: yes, no. Don't know. I don't know. That's pretty generic. And I want to have like one weird one in there. I like Agni's cat. Okay. All right. Let's start it up. Start poll. 5-minute poll. We got the 5-minute poll in there, Chad guy. Okay. And then let's see, Christine the Bean. Yep. Lots of love from you as always, because you're one of the most kind, positive people around. And she cooks some mean vegetarian dishes. If you're ever in the Chicagoland area, she'll invite you over to her home and she'll cook you some vegetarian dishes. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't be saying that, but it's just how it goes. All right. No shave November. That's intense. I don't know. I mean, maybe I should just grow it out crazy. Like maybe I should just say fuck it and just like let it go like super wild. Actually, I mean, I'd like to, but I teach in schools. That's one of the places. I'm a chess instructor. Those of you who don't know, that's my career. I'm a professional chess player, and I teach chess too. So like some of the places I teach are schools, and when you're in public schools, you don't want your beard. You have to have like some like going crazy. You have to have like some semblance of like normalcy that you exhibit in the school. So like I don't know. I don't want it going too crazy. Let's see. By the way, that Facebook metaverse thing looks scary and interesting at the same time. I don't even know about it. I don't even know about that, but I'll have to look into that. Oh, hey, Relect, what's going on? What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while. I went 18 days without streaming, so like that's probably why we haven't seen each other in passing. But good to see you. How's everything going with me? Pretty good overall. I just didn't feel like streaming for those 18 days. I didn't feel inspired, and if I don't feel inspired, I'm not going to stream because I don't want to bring a subpar product to everyone. So 2 days ago, I felt inspired to stream. I streamed and it went great, and then I streamed again last night, and now I stream tonight again. So yeah, it's been going good. How are things going with you, man? I hope existence is treating you well. I hope you're treating existence well. All right. So Christine the Bean, you say, Agni, I'm so used to with a beard now. Yeah, right. It's like I feel weird. I feel naked even with it this short. It feels like really bizarre. I don't know. I'm definitely growing it out again. I can't handle this length. It just feels weird. I feel like a fucking alien or something. Maybe I am an alien. It's possible. Chad guy, you say it's basically living a social life in high tech VR reality. Yeah, right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. Um, to me, it seems like that seems a little fucking bizarre. I'd rather like connect with a person one on one, in real life, and just like actually feel their energy, see their mannerisms, see that be able to connect with that person. I have a harder time connecting with people, via Twitch than I do like in real life. It's like it's just not the same. If I can't really be there with the person, I can't feel with them. I'm a very empathic guy too. I can when I'm around someone, I can kind of pick up their energy and see where they're at. And when I'm on Twitch, it's like I don't really see anyone. Sure, you can type stuff in the chat, but it's not the same, right? So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess it would depend on if it was like one of those things where you had to be like immersed in that all the time, or if you could just go in there for like 20 minutes or half an hour and then like that's it, and maybe like go there like once a week or something. All right, let's see. JT Farms, yeah, it's good to see you. Okay, all good. Okay, everyone's talking, everyone's having a good time. Wonderful. All right. Does anyone have any philosophical questions, to ask too? Because like that's another thing. I mean, or chess questions. I mean, those are my areas. Philosophy, chess, yoga. I can answer some, but I'll probably refer you to someone else. I'm big into yoga. I practice Bikram yoga a lot. That's like one of my big things, and I also do some vinyasa and yin as well. But like Bikram yoga is my main thing. I like that. It's hot yoga. Those of you who don't know, it's 90 minutes hot yoga, 26 postures. It's from the Hatha yoga set. So basically, a long time ago, Bikram's like, hey, I'm going to take these 26 postures from the Hatha yoga set. I believe these postures can work out your body, just as good or almost as good as like the 81 from the Hatha set. But 26 is more manageable. We'll do them twice, and we'll do them in a room that's cranked up to 105 degrees. And that's like the whole how Bikram yoga started. And I don't know, like a lot of times you won't hear people refer to it as Bikram yoga anymore, but because like there was like some like allegations and shit against them, but everyone knows what most people know what Bikram yoga is when I refer to, so that's why I still refer to it that way. And also, if you say hot yoga, there's like a million different types of hot yoga, so like I want to make sure I'm clear with my communication. That's one thing like analytic philosophy taught me. You want to be clear with your communication. You'd like to try to keep it unambiguous if at all possible. And because a lot of problems in life are caused by miscommunication, right? Okay, let's see. Chad guy said Mark Zuckerberg put in $10 billion into making it happen. That's crazy, man. Putting in $10 million. Hey, okay, so the polls ended, and most people say they like my cat. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I like that. I like that. All right. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Beautiful. Yeah, interesting though. Mark Zuckerberg. I'm going to look into it. It's very intense. That is very intense. I mean, if you're going to put $10 billion into something, you obviously think there's a market for it, and you obviously think there's good potential in it. Holy shit. All right. JT Farms redeeming Parmenides makes an appearance. All right. Here's the thing about the cat. She doesn't like it when I just grab her and pull her in there, so she's probably going to claw at my face and neck, but I'm going to do it anyway, so I'll be right back. All right. Here we go. Here's my cat. This is Parmenides. Parmenides, say hi. Say hi to everyone. I'm having a hard time getting her to look at the camera. Let me see if I can adjust her a little bit more. She's a really good cat. She's a philosopher cat, actually, and she's allowing me to hold her. Hey, good girl. Good kitty. I should have her run the meditation. Um, you know,
Yeah, I love this cat. By the way, it's just me and this cat in this place. She's a really she keeps me company, and she's usually like hold on. Ah. All right, that's enough. All right, she keeps me company. She's my friend. She's my friend. She let me pet her for a while. She's got like a certain amount of time that she'll allow me to hold her, and then she's gonna lose her shit. Oh god, she didn't claw me though, and like she didn't claw my face either, which is nice. I think last time she clawed my neck pretty good. So, but yeah, she's a great cat. She gets really loud though at times. It's like insane. Like she'll just meow like nonstop, crazy, and it's all attention based. You know, I know I try not to reinforce it by giving her like too much attention every time she does it. But like what are you gonna do, right? All right. Yeah, Schrodinger's cat, right? Is she dead or is she alive? Like right now, you're not seeing her. Maybe she's dead, or maybe she's alive at the same time. I mean, I don't fucking know. Oh man, she finally fucked you up. Yeah, she's a wild one, right? And I do trim her claws, so like if she does cut me, but here's the thing: even if you trim a cat's claws, they can still get you. Cats are fucking intense if they want to, and they have a move. I don't know how many of you have cats out there, but if a cat ever gets like really pissed off, they have this move where they bite onto something and then they can bring their back claws up and go like this, like really fast. It's like their power shredding move. It's like a superpower. And I have like this. I have some permanent scars on this hand. You can't really see it very well, but I have some scarring on this hand from like a cat that I used to have that would do that. And I would let her do it because she really enjoyed tearing my flesh apart. And I was like, dude, if this is the one thing that's gonna make this cat happy, I'll just let her like shred my hand apart, So I let her do it like one time, and then I was like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm not going to let her do this anymore. All right, where are we at here in chat? Um, okay, JT Farms, you say you love Philosopher Cat. Uh, her us fierce. Yeah, she is fierce. She can be fierce, right? Philosophers are wild animals. Are philosophers? Cats are wild animals. Philosophers are kind of wild too at times. By the way, if you ever want some fun, take a philosopher to a bar. There's some of the most fun people to hang out with. A lot of times they're very like calm and quiet and logical in their daily activities. Especially in the analytic philosophy tradition, philosophers are very like logic is a branch of philosophy. So they talk like this: the necessary and sufficient conditions required for X to be the case are as follows. And like that's how we talk, right? And that's how I used to talk when I was in the program, because you got to learn how to talk that way, at least on the analytical side, right? But if you take those same guys and bring them to a fucking bar, they start having a few drinks. Holy shit, these guys are like some of the most funny, hilarious people you'll ever meet in your life. So definitely try to take your local philosophers out to the bar one of these days. Okay. Ooh, Chad Guy. You're bringing up, does free will exist or is every action predetermined? Wow. The age old question of free will. I mean, there's a million different takes. If you go the hard determinist route, you're going to say no, free will does not exist. You're going to say that every single thing that has ever happened throughout the course of human history, including every single thought that you have in your mind at this given moment, was determined at the moment of the first cause, which is usually considered like the Big Bang. But the philosophers use the term first cause as like a placeholder for whatever the first thing that created existence was. So they say every single thing was determined. So if we had a computer that was powerful enough and we had all the initial conditions from the moment of that first cause, we'd be able to extrapolate and tell you exactly what every single thing throughout your entire life, what you do throughout your entire life. That's like the hard determinist route. And then there's a soft determinist that will allow for some levels of free will possibly. And then it goes the whole spectrum up to like people that are like, yeah, of course we have free will, obviously. It's kind of funny. This famous philosopher Moore had a very convincing argument for free will. And it was the most simple argument. And, people are writing like 20, 30, 40 page papers on free will. People are writing like huge books on free will, right? And Moore comes along, he's a super well respected philosopher, and he's like, how I know I have free will? Because here's my hand, and now look, I'm choosing to move my hand and I'm moving it, right? So it's like it's like, yeah, that has a very strong intuitive appeal, right? It's like that makes sense, right? If you want to move your hand and you're like, I'm moving my hand, that sure seems like there's free will. Now, the question is, okay, it may seem like it, but do we actually have free will? I mean, everyone has different notions. I fluctuate on the matter. Like, sometimes I think we do, sometimes I think we don't. I will say this, though. There have been a lot of studies done, and people who believe in the notion of free will overall live much better lives. Like, they're happier, they're healthier, they're more productive, they have a higher quality of life. So there's instrumental value just in believing that we have free will. So it's a good move. I mean, and the thing is, we can't really prove it one way or the other. So you might as well believe that there is free will for the most part. Um, there was there was a cool experiment done by this guy Libet, the Libet experiment, and it's a famous experiment, and he basically was trying to show that there is not free will, and he was able to. In the experiment, they had people like going to grasp like a certain knob or something like that, or to push a button. I forget, or maybe pull a lever. I forget exactly what it was, but anyways, he had this thing detect us. He had all these like things hooked up, electrodes hooked up to the people's brains, and he was having them do this test, right? And the part of the brain, there's a part of the brain that lights up that determines, whether you're going to act. I think it was like whether you're going to grip something, right? And he found in his experiment, he found that people were actually squeezing or actually the part of the brain would light up before the people were consciously aware of what they were even going to do. So like it was like a split second before. So like the part of the brain would light up, but the person wouldn't even know whether or not they were going to pull the lever yet. And then if it lit up, they would pull it, and if it didn't, they wouldn't pull it. So it was crazy because they're like, how the hell do these researchers know what this person's going to do before the person even consciously has awareness of whether they're gonna pull that lever or grip whatever they were going to grip or whatever, right? But then that whole experiment was cast into doubt, and people were like, I don't know, I think there's some problems with his methodology. But it was a really groundbreaking thing at the time. People were like, holy shit, do we not have free will? Are we just robots basically, just going through our existences thinking that we have free will, living under the illusion that we have free will when we don't? But yeah, his experiment now, there's a lot of issues with it, so people don't really they don't really cite it very much. All right, where are we at here now? Let's see. Rilek, you say very compassionate, Agni. Oh, with the cat, maybe. Yeah, right. I don't know. You got to grab the cat and bring her. She needs a little excitement in her life. She likes spending time with me. That cat loves me. She was actually hanging out right in the doorway, waiting for more attention. We'll see when it actually happens. All right. Me saying the word subleon ticonis right now is predetermined, but why? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird, right? When we say, okay, there maybe everything is predetermined, and then you want to give like a why question to it. I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know. Like, I mean, why does anything happen, right? I mean, I'm a philosopher, and one thing you learn about in philosophy is that all the big questions, they don't have answers. I mean, like I've been reading a lot about the mind body problem and the easy and hard problems of consciousness lately, and we have no conception of how these things occur. Like the mind body problem is basically saying like, how is it possible that there is something such as the brain that can interact with something that is that doesn't have any material substance, such as consciousness, right? Like how can something immaterial such as consciousness interact with something material that is the brain, right? Because obviously the brain does have an effect on consciousness. If you take a knife and stick it in my fucking head, I'm probably gonna like think a little bit differently than like like I would if you didn't do that, right? If you stick it in like a particular area, obviously, right? Researchers can stimulate certain parts of the brain and get people to have different thoughts, right? So there is some kind of link between the brain and the mind. But we have no idea what it even means for something to be immaterial. We don't understand what consciousness is. And the hard problem of consciousness, like what is experience, we don't understand what the hell that is either. We're completely lost about that kind of question. And then same thing with free will. We have no idea whether it's free will. We're never going to know. We have no idea what is the purpose of life, right? Is there a purpose, right? We don't know. We can't. When I say we don't know, we don't have any quantitative means for testing things such that we can actually determine whether or not this X actually exists, right? This X, Y, and Z, whether these things actually exist in the world or whether they're just whether it's just nonsense. And maybe the questions misfire from the start. Maybe they're just bad questions. Maybe the notion of what is something immaterial isn't even the right question, and it's a dead end right there. So I don't know. That's where I go with that. And then let's see. Yeah, Chad Guy and Christine, you guys say enlightening and intriguing. Yeah, it is, right? There's all sorts of cool stuff going on with philosophy, and that's why I love it. I love philosophy because it's the pursuit of truth. And here's the idea with philosophy. The idea is, okay, sure, we may never come to solve any of these problems, or a lot of them at least, right? But philosophers hold that there's intrinsic value. There's actually value in just the pursuit of trying to understand. So like even if you spend your whole life trying to understand what it means for something to be immaterial, such as consciousness or what consciousness is, and you make no progress, there's value in trying to do that. It's kind of like Sisyphus pushing that boulder up the mountain, right? Every day, he pushes this boulder up the mountain, and then he gets to the top. Finally gets up there, and it rolls down the other side. And then next, he goes down. Next day, he pushes it back up, and it rolls down the other side. And that's his lot for eternity. That's what he has to do every day for eternity. But the notion is, sure, it may be absurd. Camus talks about this, right? The absurd of life, right? And it may be absurd to try to, strive for this thing, to try to, do this thing every day, to try to understand things about the universe that, there's no way we're ever going to probably be able to understand. But there's value in it. Just the act is heroic. So Sisyphus, according to Camus, was actually a hero. He was a hero in the sense that he would strive every day, and that's like human beings. Human beings strive to understand the world around us. We strive to understand things, and sure, we can understand things in the phenomenal world to a given extent. And when I say phenomenal world, I'm drawing a distinction between Kant's distinction between the phenomenal and the noumenal realms. The phenomenal world is the world of sensory perception, and the noumenal realm is the world as it actually is in itself. So how things actually are. But we don't have access to the noumenal world. Kant showed that hundreds of years ago during the Enlightenment. But anyways. So we can understand some things about the phenomenal world and why certain things happen. We know how to build bridges. We know how to cure certain diseases, right? Science has given us some great tools, but remember, science only links onto things that are from our sensory perceptions, right? So here's how it works. We have a limited amount of information that is able to be filtered in through our senses, right? Sight, sound, touch, all, smell and taste, right? We have a little bit of information that's able to feed into us through our senses. There's a huge amount of information out there, but we're only able to take a tiny, tiny little bit of it. And then we take that tiny little bit of information, we use the processing power in our brains, which is not very much, as opposed to compared to all the supercomputers in the world, right? And we use our brains to take this tiny little bit of information, and then we extrapolate and project outward, and we frame the world around us. We create the world around us, so we can see things and hear things, and we see everything. But everything we see is simply a representation. It's not reality. It's not how things actually are. It's just our representation of those things. So that's what we do, and then we go along, and we get jobs, and we work in this world, and we live, and we grow up, and we I don't know, party and make love and I don't know, adopt a cat, right? We do all sorts of stuff in this world, right? But it's not how things actually are. It's our perception of things, right? So that is the phenomenal world, and we've gotten really good at doing things that have utility in the phenomenal world. Like we can build bridges, and we can go scuba diving, and we can hunt and have fish and go fishing, and send people to outer space, right? But we're still just playing around in an illusory realm. It doesn't actually exist. Nothing that we're seeing exists as we see it, right? It's just not how it is. It's just that's how our only way of accessing it, though, right? So we don't have any access to things how they really are. So we're good with dealing with things in the phenomenal world, but that's not truth. Science can only take what we can see and hear and smell, and then use instrumentation to expand on that, to expand our level of understanding within the phenomenal realm. But it tells us nothing about the things that actually are in themselves, because we don't have access to that information. And we're never going to have access to that information. Kant showed this, a few hundred years ago. And I don't understand why more people don't read those arguments and actually understand this, but philosophers understand this, they get this. But other people are I don't know, I'd rather just believe that that chair over there is actually there, but there's not that's not how the chair actually is in reality. That's just our perception of it. So I don't know where I was going with that. But anyways, oh yeah, there's value. So there's value in the pursuit of truth, in the pursuit of understanding. Even though we're not coming any closer to understanding, we're at least like increasing our knowledge about the phenomenal realm, which is great because that's the world we have to live in, right? And what are our choices? We can sit around and like just not do anything and just like lay in a puddle and like just die, right? Or we can like live in the phenomenal world and like get married and have kids and like eat good hamburgers and I don't know what else do people do, right? Ride a bike, right? Go in outer space, we can do those things. So that's what we try to learn about. All right, Chad Guy, you say, yeah, there's so many theories. One you were reading was on the multiverse theory. Between every world, there exists 1,000 thousands of copies. Yeah, that's actually pretty neat. I don't know much about the multiverse theory. David Lewis, one of the big names, he's like the big dog in analytic philosophy these days. He's like everyone loves David Lewis, and if you don't love him, you at least respect the guy. He's like the current day Wittgenstein. He's like the big dog, right? And you'll hear about him more probably like after he dies. That's how it works. People die in philosophy, and then like everyone's like, oh, I love this guy, right? Um, but anyways, David Lewis came up with this notion of possible world semantics, in which he basically he's trying to analyze the truth value of statements and he's propositions, and he's trying to look at those truth values across all possible worlds. So like the fact that I'm wearing a shirt that is mostly black right now is true in this possible world, right? In this world. And then he'd say, well, is it possible that there's a world where where Agni is not wearing a shirt that's black? And he'd say, absolutely, right? So so he uses those possible world semantics to try to understand, as much as we can about reality and about truth and about the truth of propositions and whatnot. Analytic philosophy has gotten very concerned with the truth value of propositions. Like we sit around all day and talk about whether these statements are true or false, and whether the inferences are valid, whether the argument's valid, whether the inferences are in sync, whether the argument is sound or unsound, right? We're big into like following chains of logic and reasoning. And one of the big arguments against philosophy is like, oh, it's not very productive. What do you learn in philosophy that's actually beneficial to our real world stuff? Well, computers. Here's the funny thing: without philosophy, there would be no computers. Now, a lot of you are thinking, what? What the fuck does philosophy have to do with computers? Well, Russell and Whitehead, two philosophers were like, hey, we need to formalize logic. Logic is a branch of philosophy. We need to get rid of the ambiguity in logic. And what is computer programming? You have languages that are not ambiguous. So they were the first to formalize logic language, to formalize logic-ese. They formalized logic, and then because of that, we're able to have computers. We wouldn't have computers if logic was never formalized, if that branch of philosophy had never done what it did. And without computers, what the fuck would we be doing? I wouldn't be streaming here on Twitch right now. So philosophy has a lot of value in this world. Also, if you think human rights are important, it was philosophers that got together and they're like, hey, you know what? We shouldn't be torturing people all over the world. This is insane. And let's like form a coalition and try to get it such that we stop, torture. And like, yeah, sure, there's a lot of countries that are fucking assholes and still torture, like the U.S. We were like waterboarding people a few years ago, right? And I'm sure it's still happening. It's just more covered up, right? But for the most part, there's been a lot less torture going on, around the world as there used to be. So we owe that to philosophers. Less people are getting tortured, and we have computers, and everything that results from computers because of philosophers. So obviously they have made an impact on the world. All right, we'll let you say maybe the shirt is dark purple or blue and the room is just dark. Yeah, right. I could be fucking with you guys, right? This could actually be a blue shirt. This could be a dark blue shirt. This whole time I could be saying it's black, but your perception of it is incorrect, right? Because you're not actually in the room. I could go turn on the light, and like all of a sudden I'm wearing like a purple or dark blue shirt, right? It's amazing to think about that. To think that I mean we don't know, right? We don't know, and it could just be a perceptual sleight of error. But our perceptions fail us all the time. Like there's people in the desert see mirages, right? People, if you look at like an ore underwater, this is like a famous philosophy example. If you look at it, I think it's from Plato. If you look at an ore that's like under the water, right, and you're just like staring at it, it's going to look bent, right? And now, does that mean your eyes are fucked up? No, it just means that in the water, your eyes can't see the ore as it actually is, right? We're not seeing things correctly. And so, so our senses are not perfect, right? If you want to go talk a little bit more about Plato, we can talk about his allegory of the cave, right? So those of you who don't know the allegory of the cave, You got a bunch of people that are like chained up inside this cave, and they're looking at the back of the cave wall, and there's people walking behind them, across the entrance to the cave, and the sun's shining in from back there. And as those people walk across, they see little like figures and things like on the cave wall in front of them, because their heads are locked in place. They have like, they're shackled such that they can only see what's directly in front of them. So these people are like sitting there, their whole lives they're watching these people walking in, these cave shadows, like these walking in front of their faces, right? But they have no perception, no conception of the outside world at all, right? They've never been out there. So then finally, one day, like 30 years later, this dude is able to get his shackles off and escapes and goes out, outside the cave. And like the light is so bright, and it's like he can't even take it. But then after a couple of days, he finally acclimates to the light, and he's looking around, and he realizes that everything that they saw on the cave wall was just bullshit. It was just shadows of what was actually occurring in real life, right? So then he's outside. He's like, wow, everything's like so different out here. This is the real world. This is how things actually are. I got to go back and tell those people in the cave, what the hell's going on. I got to like, liberate them, right? So he goes back in the cave, and he's like, guys, you're never going to believe this. It turns out everything you thought was your reality for your entire lives was just, shadows. It's not reality. The reality's back there. Like, I'm just trying, look, let me tell you about reality. And they're like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about, man? That's not true. And he's like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, man. These shadows are actually how things are. These shadows are not how things are. It's just, coming reflected from the people walking by. And they're like, no, that doesn't make any sense. And they wouldn't believe the guy. And he's like, what the fuck? But that's how it is with human beings. That's an allegory, right? So it's like, when we perceive the world, when we perceive things around us, we're not seeing things as they are in themselves. We're seeing the things the way we can see things with our five senses, right? We're not seeing the actual X's, Y's, and Z's that have the ontological status of being true from the foundational nature of reality. We're seeing facsimiles, cheap copies of those things, because that's all our senses can handle and our minds can process. All right. Or the room is shirtless and Agni is pink. Right? Yeah, maybe I'm wearing a black shirt, maybe I'm wearing a purple shirt, or maybe the room is shirtless and Agni is pink. Whew, I don't even know what that would mean. I like it though, JT. I like where you're going with that. I just don't know what that even means. Oh man. All right. Do I? I mean, maybe I should get shirtless now. No shirtless streams tonight. That is a channel redemption though. 50,000. I think it's what 50,000 channel points. It's been redeemed a couple times. I've run guided meditations, shirtless. I gotta please all the ladies out there, right? That's my and the dudes that are into me too, right? All right, I'm just joking, obviously. Let's see, Chad guy, you say antimatter bomb is a scary reality coming true. Yeah, right. Science is fucking crazy, man. The shit that we've done with science is unbelievable. We really have a firm grasp on manipulating things in the phenomenal realm, right? Sure, we're not touching the actual objects of inquiry, but we're able to do amazing things and pretty horrific things, right? Atomic bombs, all that shit, right? But antimatter bomb, I don't even know. Like, what would that do? Would that just take out the whole world? I mean, is that where we're at right now? I don't know. Christine the Bean, you say we're getting close on points. Oh, you're getting close on channel points to that shirtless stream. Yeah, I make it expensive. You know why? Because I'm worth that much, right? I'm worth that much, and I don't want to. I'm not cheap. I'm not some $5 hooker. I'm worth 50,000 channel points, right? That's what I require. That's what I require for you to see this beautiful bod. This Bikram yoga bod that's just flowing with vitality and love and light, right? All right. I'm from Chicago. This is just how we talk in Chicago, right? No, it's just how I talk actually. All right. Okay. I've been talking a lot. Maybe we should just end the stream before I like do anything too absurd or say anything too ridiculous. Does anyone have any final questions or comments? Philosophy, chess. I love chess. I play professionally and I teach chess for a living. Yoga. I don't know what else. Heavy metal. I love heavy metal. I'm big in the metal scene, mostly Norwegian metal. Anything you want to talk about, I'm cool. Science. What do you got? Chaga, you say evolves that prime rib. Yeah. I try to be at least. I try to be. Whenever I work out as hard as I can. If I didn't get injured, I would be I'm convinced I'd be the most ripped person on the planet because I work out 3 hours every fucking day, and I'm willing to work out 8 hours a day if I could. But whenever I start working out too much, I always end up fucking hurting myself, and then I'm like sitting on the sidelines while everyone else gets to work out, and I can't do what I want to do. So, it's injury is always my battle, trying to battle the injuries. Jack, I ain't no chicken. I do like. You just got me thinking about jerk chicken sandwiches, though. I really like jerk chicken sandwiches. I want to get a good jerk chicken sandwich. I didn't even eat much dinner tonight, so I want to get something good. JD Farms, you say, or before I do anything impulsive, time to raid. Yeah, right. I mean, who's out there, right? Who should we raid tonight? I want to raid someone good. Anyone have any suggestions? I don't want some asshole. I don't want to raid some asshole. Um, let's see. Who do we got out here? I mean, you know what? Check me out. Check me out is streaming, but it is a rerun. I mean, I'd love to pay her back. I'd love to pay her back. But like, I don't think I want to rate a rerun just tonight because a buddy of mine is streaming, and I think we can make his day if we stream him. And it's with check I can rate check me out every other time like, but my buddy's streaming Imbalanced Physique. Some of you might know him. He's super awesome guy, and I think we can make his day if we raid give Imbalanced a raid. Unless you check, I mean, check. Let's make him balance. Let's make his day, dude. I want to do something nice for the guy. He's only got a couple of viewers right now. Spread the love, right? That's what I'm doing. We're gonna spread the love. So let's see if I can find him here. Raid. We are gonna raid. He's not coming up here, so I gotta type it in manually. OBS doesn't like to find some people sometimes. I've known. There he is. Okay, cool. We will raid Imbalanced. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you are more peaceful than you were prior to the meditation. I hope you've had some good thinking about philosophy, and namaste to all of you. Thank you so much for being here with me.